Hey everybody, it's Elon Gold. Let's be honest, who doesn't need a good laugh right now? Oh, I know I do. Well, that's why I'm excited to invite you to my new podcast, Stars of David with Elon Gold. Join me and my co-host, the wonderful, the hilarious Eli Leonard, on Stars of David to dive into all the joys and, yes, quirks of Jewish life, together with some amazing, very special guests. Whether you need a laugh, a little kvetch, or some heartfelt conversations, Stars of David has you covered. Subscribe now to Stars of David wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube at Unpacked Podcasts.
When you email someone back, and you're in conversation, here are a few options. Do you do thanks, thank you, TY, or TYSM?
None of them.
None of them?
No, I'm terrible though. I use no punctuation, I'm like the man who's juggling 20 things and just like,
So what do you write? You do TY?
THX.
But you do THX.
Yeah. Is that awful?
Hey everyone, welcome to Wondering Jews with Mijal and Noam.
I'm Mijal.
And I'm Noam, and this podcast is our way of trying to figure out the Jewish world. We don't have it all figured out, but we're going to try to figure it out together.
As always, we really love hearing from you, so please email us at WonderingJews@JewishUnpacked.com or call us and leave a message at 833-1-JEWS.
Let's start with a listener question.
Yeah, go for it, Nam.
Okay, so this one is from Isaac. By the way, my son's middle name is Isaac. I like this. And my nephew's name is Isaac. So maybe he wrote it. I like this. Anyway, so it's actually very cute. It's the theme of this episode. What do you do for Thanksgiving? Do you celebrate? What does it look like in your house? Very personal question, Isaac.
I mean, I feel like I don't have an exciting answer. We do a big Thanksgiving feast. We basically spend a lot of time figuring out how to visit both sides of our family. So my side, my husband's side, each of them has a different meal. And yeah, this year I have my list of things I have to cook, and we just have really nice family meals together.
That's so nice. Wait, Mijal, could we just do your history again? Where are you from?
Yeah, I'm not American.
You are American. You are American.
I am an American citizen. I wasn't born here. I didn't grow up with Thanksgiving.
Wait. Can we double click on that? I said you are an American, then you said I am an American citizen. Does that mean you're not American? Is there a nuance I just revealed there that I was unaware of?
People will often, in this context, when you asked about my background after I said I celebrate Thanksgiving, people will often use American to implicate you were born here.
Oh, interesting.
So if we're talking about that, I wasn't born here, but I love this country. I'm an adopted American. But yeah, there actually totally is a difference between how the two sides of my family celebrate. So my husband's side, they're also immigrants, but they came earlier. So they do like the full, turkey and gravy and I don't know, all the stuff that's very American, pumpkin pies. My side, it's like a Shabbat meal, but like American, not on Shabbat.
Gotcha.
We didn't get to the big turkey situation.
So you moved to the U.S. when you were how old?
Yeah, I moved when I was 12. That's when I started to learn English, yeah.
Wow. Amazing.
So the funny thing is that right now, the language that I sound the least accented in is Hebrew. Because Hebrew, I can speak like an Israeli, and Israelis would assume I'm Israeli. When I speak English, I sound like this. And my Spanish at this point has taken some aspects from different countries. So people always ask, there's a mix there. So Hebrew is my...
What's your accent? Which dialect?
No, I have influence from Argentina and Uruguay. So it doesn't... I sound most native when I speak Hebrew, weirdly.
Thank you for the detour. For me, Thanksgiving growing up was a few things. It was playing football, watching football, eating with family. It was actually probably the best day of the year. By the way, I'm including Jewish holidays. I would say Thanksgiving was just awesome. You just kind of got to be with family with no ritual associated with it outside of what you're talking about, which is turkey and gravy and pumpkin pie. By the way, these foods are so average, but we'll get into that. They're such average foods.
But now it sounds like the marriage of Shabbat with sports watching. Is that what it is?
Yeah, and
Okay.
playing, sports watching and playing. Yeah, exactly,
Okay.
exactly. And you kind of feel weird, like as a Jewish person who's I try to be. I'm an aspirationally observant Jew, and like you kind of feel like, wait, am I supposed to like make like a blessing on grape juice before this? Should I be
Right.
making kiddush? Is that what are we supposed to like make hamotzi and cut the bread? And so I just got to say something I find fascinating. Okay. You and I, American Jews, Jewish Americans, write a paper on it if you wanted to make the distinction between the two. But for our purposes, we'll use the terms interchangeably unless you yell at me. But what's fascinating to me is how seriously Jewish people in the United States of America take Thanksgiving. When I went to Canada, I was there recently. I was in Toronto on the Canadian Thanksgiving. So it was, I don't know, last month or something. And there was Canadian Thanksgiving. And the Jewish community people that I was around, and they were all different types of people, it was like they didn't have work, but it was any other day. Like, it didn't seem like it was a big deal. And it was kind of like, oh, this is, yeah, it's a thing. We have off. I can't speak to the Jewish experience in the UK and like the celebration of a UK holiday or Australian celebration of something and the Jewish people are fully integrated in it. So there's something very distinct about the relationships between Americanism and Judaism, and Thanksgiving actually being one of these holidays that Jewish Americans celebrate, like broadly, quite pervasively. I mean, there's some people in the ultra-Orthodox Haredi sector that won't do it because it's imitating non-Jewish people, and you're not supposed to do that in certain ways, so they don't necessarily celebrate it. But the vast majority of American Jews are like, this is what we do. We take off the fourth Thursday of November, and we watch football, we play football, and darn it, we eat turkey. That's what they do.
Yeah, I mean, we don't do the football part, but the turkey, yeah. But no, I don't know if it's like a Jewish thing or just if you're comparing people in Canada and people in America. I think it's just like a very strong American.
Yeah, so yeah, you might be right. It might be. Oh, so you're saying because it's it's more American.
It might be that in Canada, no one. I actually don't know. I'm just.
Yes. By the way, come at us if we're wrong. Like yeah.
I mean, come at Noam.
Come at me. Exactly.
It might be that in Canada, it's just not as celebrated as it is in America. There's something very American about it. And I think Jews largely are good Americans, and we love this country.
We love this country. We do. We love this country, good, bad, ugly, warts and all, and the amazing things about it. Like, definitely had a good experience here, broadly speaking, certainly since the World War II. But I want to say something about that, and before that, but in different ways. But look, I won't get into the history of Judaism in America. There is a great historian named Jonathan Sarna. He said that Thanksgiving is one of 4 annual holidays that together promote what he called a cult of synthesis, meaning the idea that Judaism and Americanism reinforce one another. Could you guess what those 4 are?
Ooh, 4 holidays that. Okay, I actually don't know the answer to this. Let me think.
4 annual holidays, yeah. And what he says is they reinforce the cult of synthesis between Judaism and Americanism. They reinforce each other.
Okay, this is like a test. Okay, so Thanksgiving is 1.
Yes.
I would assume that Passover is 1.
2, nailed it. This is fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is the 4th of July 1?
Yes.
So the remaining question is, which is the 4th one? That's the hardest one. Which is the holiday that Professor Sarna would believe combines? It's complicated. I want to say Hanukkah, but it's a very complicated answer. Hanukkah has become an American holiday because it's seen as the Jewish parallel to Christmas. And together they like play into this culture of like materialism and consumption and all of us feeling really good about ourselves in the winter months. So is that the 4th one?
Yeah, it's Hanukkah. You nailed it.
Yes!
4 for 4.
Okay.
Over.
I'm so excited.
Overachiever.
This is so much fun. Okay.
There it is. Okay. Anyway, so that's what Thanksgiving is. It's one of the big 4 of that is, and if you're listening in Australia, South Africa, the UK, Canada, wherever you are, my apologies for making this about Judaism and Americanism, but I will say that it is a fascinating understanding of, I think like 40 to 45% of world Jewry is in the United States of America. And there's a lot to understand about what makes the Jewish American experience, because what makes the Jewish American experience is in many ways this synthesis that Sarna is talking about, where we feel so deeply American and we feel so deeply Jewish. And I wonder if there are other analogs in history that was the case. We felt so deeply A and so deeply B. But right now, it's like, that's the reality. We feel so proudly American, proudly Jewish.
There's an additional way to look at it, which is to argue that America was founded on principles that align at its core. So Rabbi Sachs, for example, we're recording this on his yahrzeit, actually, so it's special to mention him. But Rabbi Sachs spoke of America as being founded on the notion of covenant, which is a biblical notion of a certain agreement between each other.
Right.
And the founders, at least, very much dreaming of being able to learn from the Bible. Of course, again, not perfect. Took a very long time for a lot of terrible injustices to get addressed, and they still need to be addressed. But I think as I speak for me personally, part of the reason that I love America is that I think it was founded, at least, with a premise that in many ways aligns with our most deepest values.
I agree with that. And we actually, I'm just making a quick plug here. If you go to Unpacked for Educators, we made 4 videos.
Wait, no, if I want to go to that, where do I find it?
You go to Unpacked.education. You just go to Unpacked.education. We made 4 videos on the influence of Judaism on the United States of America. We did it together with Stu Halpern, who is a writer at Tablet, a writer for the Jewish Journal. He works at the Strauss Center at Free Yeshiva University, and we made 4 different educational films on the influence of Judaism on the United States of America. So I think you're actually spot on. It's not just the number of people here, it's the shared values that have informed and cultivated the United States of America. So that's a major part of it. You're absolutely right. By the way, when you email someone back, and you're in conversation, here are a few options. Do you do thanks, thank you, TY, or TYSM?
None of them.
None of them?
No, I'm terrible though. I use no punctuation, I'm like the man who's juggling 20 things and just
So what do you write? Do you do TY?
THX.
You do THX.
Yeah, is that awful?
What does it mean though? I want to know what's
I
behind
do THX, which means thanks, or I do TYSM, thank you so much. Or TY sometimes.
Do you mean it when you write it?
Of course I mean it. What do you mean?
I don't know if you're being quick and flippant. You're like, THX.
No, it's not that. It's like if you're like
you're saying I don't have time. By the way, you're saying I don't even have time to say thank you to you.
Oh my gosh, that is such a hermeneutic of suspicion. No, that's not nice. It's not that thank God, and I'm saying thank you for this. I am in communication with a lot of people. Thank God, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
And I try really hard to be responsive as quickly as possible because I want to show that I care.
Yeah, one of my colleagues said, you don't have to answer people, but you have to respond to them. Meaning you don't have to know the answers, but you got to get back to people. Even if you don't know the answer.
So my response there, Noam, is that I don't have to write out every word, but I do have to get back to people.
Right.
It's funny, in my people that I work with in my community, they often laugh because sometimes I might email from a shared shul account and they know that certain lack of punctuation is just me. Even if I forget to put my name because I'm on the subway and I'm typing very quickly, so it's become a joke actually. But yeah, I think I'm going to forgive myself for this one now.
Good, but I want to talk about THX and TYSM right now. Okay, so that is the shoresh, the root of Thanksgiving is thanks and being thankful and having gratitude. In Hebrew, the way to say it is hakarat hatov, gratitude, which is by the way, a very literal translation is the recognition of the good. Which I love that. That's a great translation of what it means to be thankful is an awareness of the good. That's what it means. And there's a piece of Talmud in Tractate Brachot 54b. I love saying that out loud. I feel cool when I say that out loud. Okay, so it says that there was a rabbi whose name was Rabbi Yehuda. He said in the name of another rabbi who went by Rav, which is cool that he just went by Rav, which means rabbi. So we're not even saying his name. I don't need a name. My name is Rav. So anyway, he says that 4 people need to offer Thanksgiving. Number 1 is those who travel across the sea. Number 2, someone who crosses the wilderness. Number 3, someone who is sick and recovered. And number 4, someone who is imprisoned and released. Those are the people that have the obligation to say, Birkat HaGomel, it's called. The blessing of one who gives loving kindness. And so there's been a major tradition in the Jewish people for a long time to say and to be grateful for the ability to do something that was, you were down or it was dangerous and you made it to the other side.
Yeah. I'm curious, by the way, it used to be that people said the blessing after flying. I'm just curious, now you travel so much. I'm just curious if you say it every time you travel. But
I do not. Absolutely not. Because first of all, now we're being Talmudic.
It's become a thing, right?
Because because it's if you travel across the sea. So I travel in North America a ton. I go to Israel like 3-4 times a year or something like that. But besides that, it's so then I say the blessing of Gomel. But I'll tell you, you just picked on something that's a huge pet peeve of mine. We end up ritualizing, we're going to go too deep down here, but we end up ritualizing this performance of you crossed the sea, you were on a plane, and therefore you say the blessing. How about saying a blessing and being grateful so many times in life, seeing the very fact that so much of life is precarious and we have this assumption that everything will just be good. No, have an assumption actually that don't just assume that everything should work out. And so if you kind of act and operate in that way, and you say, and you're able to be makir tov, and you're able to recognize good, you're going to be so much more thankful. So I wish I actually said birkat hagomel, the blessing of Gomel, more often. If something crappy happens to me, and whatever it is, like a bad thing at work or something going on with a friend or whatever it is, I know I'm not being Talmudic right now by saying this, but I should say the blessing of Gomel. Something was challenging and now it's good. Be grateful. It's amazing. I should do that.
Well, it's funny. Last night I was with a group and somebody wanted to say a gomel for something they were grateful for. It wasn't the right setting to say a gomel ritually, but we found verses from Psalms that allowed this person to actually express it. So I think we could kind of
nice.
Create new ways to say that. It's funny. You use the words ritualizing performance. That's the word you used around gomel. I actually want to say what I think Judaism teaches us about gratitude. And all of the laws that we have around it is actually that it shouldn't be an emotion or a response that we leave to chance. I actually think Judaism offers gratitude as a practice. I want to give a story just to illustrate what I mean by this. So I remember one of the first jobs that I had, doesn't matter the exact details, but we were working in an educational settings and running a lot of really amazing programming, and midway through some of our work, some of us started to feel that we were really struggling because our participants were not expressing any gratitude. We were working like crazy, staying up late, really going out to help each individual. And there was a strong sense from our team, from our staff, of entitlement. And they're not being grateful, they're being entitled. So one of us actually went and spoke with Dr. David Polkovitz, a psychologist, a professor at Yeshiva University, has written a lot around subjects of spirituality and well-being. And he said something that I heard secondhand, that I'm going to, attribute to him. He said something that was really important. He said, well, what do you expect? People don't just feel gratitude. You got to teach the practice of gratitude. So we totally changed our programming and we started to put touch points in the program for participants to actually express gratitude and to be able to practice gratitude as opposed to just hope it comes up.
Excellent. That's amazing because we do the same thing in Judaism. In Judaism, the very first thing that we do in the morning is we say modeh ani, I am thankful. That is an insertion into your daily life that is teaching us this is what we're starting with. This is it. Modeh.
Right.
That's it.
Right. And especially when you don't feel so great. So I'll give right now, I don't know if you can hear, my audio is a bit different than Noam's. That's because I had an insane week. And yesterday I lost my laptop, left it in a coffee shop. I'm still looking for it.
So stressful. So by the way, if anyone finds it, please return it to me.
Give it to me.
Okay.
And then this morning I worked so hard to set up a desktop that would allow me to, and then it wasn't working. And anyways, so I was very stressed and not feeling in the greatest of moods. But I think what practice does is it actually tells you, okay, you might not naturally start singing in gratitude, but if I were to stop right now and literally have to express what I'm grateful for as a practice, even if it doesn't come naturally, it can change things. And there's actually all of these studies in psychology that say that one of the best ways to improve well-being and happiness is to have like a gratitude journal, to be forced to express gratitude.
Do it. And we have it. It's all over. It's all over our prayers. Rabbi Jonathan Sachs, you mentioned earlier, he said that Jewish prayer is an ongoing seminar in gratitude. Like only he could speak that way. He said that the dawn blessings, like the morning blessings said at the start of morning prayers each day, are a litany of thanksgiving for life itself, the human body, the physical world, land to stand on, and eyes to see with. Like this is what we have.
Yeah. I actually had a random question for you, Noam. Like you mentioned, Thanksgiving is so popular across America. And I was wondering, like, who are people grateful to? Like, I guess I'm trying to wonder, there's all of this benefit that comes from being grateful, even if people aren't like directly grateful to God or to another person. Like in traditional Judaism, we express gratitude to God. We express gratitude to each other. And I was just wondering this morning, I'm like, when Thanksgiving was established, it was at a moment in which it was obvious that it was to God. But even as our society has gotten more secular, you have plenty of people who love Thanksgiving, who benefit from it by just expressing gratitude. I'm just sitting with that.
You're just wondering who. Yeah, I actually don't. I mean, this is not meant to be cynical. I'm sure there's a whole group of people out there who utilize the day to be thankful and to be grateful. And I think one of the things that we're trying to do in this episode, just again reflecting on it right now, is saying what that would be actually really great if we made Thanksgiving about gratitude. I just think that Thanksgiving has become about other things beyond gratitude, and they just happen because of the day itself. See, that's the thing about gratitude also. It's not saying thanks, THX, TY, TYSM. It's actually just acting in a way that is grateful. So acting in a way that's grateful is to be kind to each other, to be good to each other, to have a good time with each other, to not ask for more things after you get them. Like those are things that are ways to act thankfully, act gratefully. And very often we don't do that. Very often we just, we say the words, but we don't act the way. So I think Thanksgiving has been this day that people are maybe even not even aware that without saying the words I'm grateful for, I'm sure there are homes that do this. I'm sure that there are rituals that people created for Thanksgiving. That's awesome. Good for you. But I think the day has not become, it's about the act of Thanksgiving, which is being with each other, having a good time with each other, playing games, being light, by the way. Thanksgiving should be a light day. Like I said it should be light. There's so many heavy days. There's so many heavy things going on in the world. But in the U.S., it could be a day of lightness, and that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, so I think that's what's going on, I think, typically, actually.
Yeah.
That's my take.
Okay.
So here's what I want to do with you right now, Mijal. What I want to do with you right now is I want to go through 5 things that you and I are grateful for. Okay, who goes first, me or you?
I don't know.
Okay. Flip a coin. Okay, you won. Amazing. You get to go first.
Okay. On Thanksgiving, which is an American Jewish holiday, I am really grateful for this country. I think we often take it for granted that we live in a country that gives us unbelievable freedoms and in which citizenship comes with incredible protections and opportunities. And to inherit, to be part of this country is amazing. I love this country. I think right now it feels precarious just because of, this last year, the rise of anti-Semitism, rise of populism, like all of these, things we can talk about. But I will always love the premise of this country.
That's nice. That's special. The premise of this country, which basically means something to be aspirational.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I will forever love it. Yeah. When some people see like some bad stuff in America, they fall less in love with America.
Right.
I think for me, and maybe it's because I became an American, like, I'm like, the premise is still there. There's a betrayal of America, so we should fight it.
That's right. That's very well said. Yes. Okay. So my gratitude number 1 is God. It's God.
Okay.
Like, is that weird? God's the divine Hashem, the master of the universe, that being. The reason is, for me, is there's a line. I don't know where it's from, but it's something that I feel. I'll say it in Hebrew first. Imo anochi b'tzara. I am with you in your distress and your pain. I think that, so I don't know the origin of that, but it's definitely a line that has been cited by many Jewish people over the years. Definitely one place is a medieval commentator named Rashi who mentions it when I think Moses met God at the burning bush. Okay, anyway, the whole idea is I am with you. I feel that. I feel that when I'm in the depths, nobody understands what I'm going through. And even the people I'm closest to in the world, no matter what, I feel that Imo Anochi Batzara. I feel this notion that I have some being, the divine, that is with me. So gratitude number one for me goes to God. That was heavy. Was that too much? Did I go too far there? It was too much, right?
I don't.
Okay.
I mean, you know me. I'm no,
You're
that's
okay
not
with
too
it?
intense.
You're okay with it? It won't scare you. Okay, fine.
No. But I think what you're saying is like you're grateful for the feeling of God's presence
Yeah. Yes. Well said.
with
Yeah.
you.
Okay. So
That's
number two,
beautiful.
you.
I am really grateful to Israelis right now. So it's funny, like a couple of weeks ago, I was asked to speak with a group of Israelis who had come to visit rabbis and educators. And I have this thing that I don't know if you have this, Noam, in this last year, I feel like I'm either like a little bit numb or I'm like totally raw. Like I tend to like go very quickly from one to the other. And when I speak with Israelis, that's when the rawness tends to come out. And I just, I got very emotional at the end. I told them that most of them have children in the army. And I told them that I think that we owe them a debt of gratitude that I don't know if we can ever repay.
Yes.
And like I said, like I know that anytime I want, I can go to Israel. I can move there. My children can go there. And you've been living under fire and you're still under fire. And people are risking their lives, your children. And I'll say here now, it's not only gratitude for like risking of life. I find that maybe, and I'm not saying everybody in Israel, I'm not saying everything, but I find that there's a certain like moral lessons. Like I'm constantly looking to people in Israel that I admire and communities that I admire and thinking they are teaching us what it means to live life under challenging conditions and to be dignified under fire and to increase love in war. And I'm like, we are here in America, and I'm not only grateful that we have a safe Israel, I'm grateful that in a Western society that can often go into like decadence and nihilism and cynicism, that I get to have these amazing people that I look up to as like exemplars of life right now.
That's awesome. I love that. By the way, I quoted from you in your committed Substack last week, and I teach on Shabbat afternoons, and I quoted what you were saying about the challenges of the American Jewish community's willingness to sacrifice, and thinking about like the pain on the one hand of how not the pain, but like looking up to others and almost envious of others in Israel that have this. But now you're saying you're grateful, like saying like you're grateful.
I'm both envious and grateful.
And envious and grateful. Yeah, I'm with you. Amazing. Yeah. So here's my number two. My number two is family. It's just family. It's a different version, by the way, of Imo Anochi Batzara. I'm with you in your pain. I think that family, does a great job of doing two things, and I'm very grateful for this. Number one is when you're down in the dumps and you need a pick-me-up, family, my family, and my closest friends. I don't want to say friends in some like generic way, because that's malarkey. But like my closest friends, what I would describe as my ride or die friends. And no matter what, they're with me, no matter what, I'm with them. And that's the same thing with family. And that's what makes them like family. So I would say family number two, who's when you're in the dumps, but there's something else that your closest friends and your family do. And I hope to do this also. It's a Yiddish word that became a Hebrew word, which I love. It's called fargen. I don't know if you've ever heard that word. In Hebrew, it's lefargen.
Oh, to say something good about something? Like how do you...
Yes. When you feel someone else's joy positively. It's such a beautiful idea. Lefargen. My grandfather, Saba Royal, was known, someone said this at his eulogy, as someone who was such a fargener. He always fargened. If something positive happened to someone else, he would feel good about that. He'd be like, it's amazing. So when you have family and close friends that fargen, that feel genuinely good for you, and when you could do that for them, it's incredible. So I have gratitude to family and close friends who actually fargen.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
You're at three.
Yeah, three. I mean, it's similar. I was going to say family. Maybe I'll add a new layer just to add to what you're saying.
Okay.
I would say I'm very grateful for those who came before us, especially those who made us feel thin. I think that's very specific. But this week I'm thinking a lot about Rabbi Sachs, who we mentioned, passed away. And also my grandma, Abuela Nari, she passed away. It's her yahrzeit this week as well. And there's an incredible gift that you have when you feel really seen and loved by someone who then, I mean, even after they're gone, you can reach to that, to that memory and to that feeling of, it's interesting because you were speaking about the feeling of either God or family not letting you be alone. And I feel
either
like I
way,
can access.
Either way, meaning even when something's good also. Yeah.
Right. But I'm adding to it that I get to access that with people whose memory I have, who were here beforehand.
Okay, so we're halfway through, and we have 5 out of 10. We have God, family, the U.S., Israelis, and family. So now we might go in different directions here. Number 3 is, ready for this one? For me, pizza. Pizza's the great equalizer. It's the great equalizer. It is that very thing that exists, whoever created it. And I don't want to say the Italians because I'm not referring to like Italian pizza, which doesn't even have cheese, whatever. It's so annoying. But like, I'm talking about just good thin crust, like good undercarriage pizza that, it's not floppy, great sauce and cheese is delicious. And you're just eating with people, you're kicking it, you're having a good time. You're having what's called hygge, a Danish word for just chilling. There's no like, if I was traveling all week, like you said, and I just got back and my wife goes, we had pizza for dinner. I was like, oh my God, I love you. And the family's pounded pizza. Everyone was happy. And that was it. So I am grateful that we're able to sometimes in life put our hair down, just like lounge in a chair with terrible posture and just pound pizza. That's number 3. There you have it.
Okay.
You have no response for that. Okay, fair enough. Okay, number 4. You go to your number 4. Go.
I'm just like, okay. I'm still processing.
Okay,
process. It takes me a while.
Think that one through. Like, think that one through. Okay.
Yeah, you said something about Italian pizza, something about I'm trying to follow here. Yeah, I'm trying to think, like, what's my equivalent to be grateful for pizza?
You don't have one. Stop it. Stop it. You don't have one.
I'm sorry.
Okay, number 4. Go.
I'm grateful for, we're kind of repeating here, but just the community. It's interesting. I did a talk with Jonathan Haidt a couple of days ago. And, so much of his work is around like social media and the way it just breaks people's brains, especially young people. And so much of his research has been to say like, there's actually a cure for this, less screen time, more face-to-face interactions. And religious communities do this really well. And I just feel like, oh my gosh, like we live at a time in which our religious communities are like the greatest bulwark against one of the most dangerous technologies in the world. So to be part of, I'm very grateful. I'm part of multiple communities and each of them is beautiful.
That's excellent. Some might say greater than my pizza, but I just said it.
Listen, I'm not competing here, but maybe. I don't know.
I want to know, like, do you agree on this one? I'm going to take a shot at someone else right now also. Do you agree with what I was saying about turkey before, that it's such a farce that people love turkey? I don't mean like a turkey wrap or like a turkey sandwich, but like, listen, if a food is so amazing that you only have it once a year, then it's not so amazing. You would have it more often. And my second proof of that is that why are people like deep frying turkey? My
people
shoe
deep fry turkey?
Yeah, because they don't like it. So they deep fry it. And just like you deep fry anything and it makes it good. So people don't like turkey. So sorry for insulting people.
Deep fry Oreos though.
That's phenomenal.
No, I know, but you just said you only deep fry things when you don't like them.
No, I'm saying it's an easy way
Sorry,
out.
I was like, there's like a logical contradiction there.
No,
that's how I listen to your book talk. I'm trying to listen
if something's an 8 out of 10, it makes it a 10 out of 10. That's how it works. If something's a 4 out of 10, it makes it a 6 out of 10.
I don't like deep fried Oreos. Sorry. Okay, let's keep going.
Okay. My number 4 is the Jewish people, similar to yours with community.
What did Turkey have to do with them?
No, it didn't. It had absolutely nothing to do with it. But
Got it. I respect your process now.
The Jewish people being part of Catholic Israel, to use an academic term, the Knesset Israel, the broader collective of the Jewish people, I just feel it. I feel it all the time. I feel it with the head nods in the airports. I feel it when people see me and even if I'm not wearing a kippah on my head, I'm wearing a hat, and people will just like, they'll tuna bagel me every now and then. You know what I'm saying? We'll connect over it. I feel part of something, even though we're only 15.7 million strong across the globe. It's like there's like a very special connection that we all have with each other, even when we strongly disagree and see things very differently from each other and have different political views and religious dispositions and all the things. I feel like I am part of something, and feeling like I am part of something feels really good. And I'm really grateful for that. And Just feel good about it. All right, number 5. Say the last one for you.
I just feel like this year has been so hard in so many ways. And at the same time, I think many of us have found that we can stretch ourselves. Again, I'm not expressing myself well. I'm really grateful for the human capacity for growth. And I'm grateful that we can look at ourselves and decide to expand our notion of who we are. I've seen just so many people do that this last year.
Wow.
And there's something like, I love the fact that again, it's personal, but I love the fact that I can start something new. Like the Substack that you mentioned that I'm writing these essays. And I'm like, I want to become a better writer. And I'm actually like it's like work. And I'm like, I want to expand who I am because I want to, I'm just grateful that we have that ability to continue developing and growing and expanding and seeing ourselves in new lights.
Yeah, I just think of like, again, just reflecting on these 9 so far, going from the sublime, the gratitude for the ability to expand our growth as human beings compared to the mundane of pizza. It's such a good side by side. My last one is health.
Well, you started with God, Noam, so it's okay.
I know, but I'm going to finish with health because my favorite blessing of gratitude, and I'll go back to that, of every day, no matter what. I don't care if you're religious, not religious. I don't care if you observe Shabbat, don't do it. If you do kosher, you never heard of these things. But here's a good one. When you go to the bathroom, and after you come out of the bathroom, you're like, wow, things work. This is unbelievable. There is a bracha, there is a blessing called Asher Yatzar, which means who formed me. That is such a moment, no matter what you're doing throughout the day. And if, like, for me, again, this is TMI, I drink a lot of coffee, drink a lot of water. I twice had kidney stones. It's the worst thing in the world. So I drink water and I put lemon in my water. Anyway, so I say Asher Yatzar after going to the bathroom, and I feel that gratitude. I really do. Like, and if you pause and you think of something as mundane as going to the bathroom, that you're able to do it, health, like just having whatever health that we all have. Oh my God, it's like something to be so grateful for. So that is like throughout the day when I feel. So here are our 10. There's a few overlaps, but I'll say yours and then I'll say mine. Yours were the U.S., Israelis, family, expansion, and the ability to expand and grow, and community. Mine were the divine, family, the great equalizer, aka pizza and not turkey, the Jewish people, and health. So there you have it. Those are our 10 things to be grateful for. I'd be fascinated to know what our listeners, what they're grateful for, what goes in their gratitude journal.
I'll say, no, one last thing. I made a decision as we were talking. I just like wrote it down next to my papers.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna spend some time this Thanksgiving doing a gratitude journal with my kids.
You're doing it.
No, I mean, I just decided, as we were talking, I was like,
I'm going to do it.
I was
also.
like, wait a second. I'm like, it's usually just around the meal and running. And I'm like, what if I take half an hour, whatever, with my kids, and we can do like arts, crafts, whatever. My kids are young, and we can, and as a family, not just them, but me as well, each of us write 5 things we're grateful for. I'm like,
should we do what do you do? Like on a poster board? I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
that's a lot of questions, though. I just thought of it. No, maybe, you know what? Okay, let me think out loud, actually.
Let's workshop this. Come on.
So you have to know, my kids, they would love it if each of them had a personalized journal with their name on it. You know, thematic.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to get each of them a journal, and maybe we can think about when else to do it. But at least on Thanksgiving, we can sit down as a family.
That's a good idea.
Of us, my daughter can't write yet, but she can draw or tell me what she wants. Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. I love it. I'm in. Mijal, I love the idea. I want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
I'm looking forward to hanging out soon. Take care.
Wondering Jews is a production of Unpacked, a division of OpenDor Media. Subscribe to Wondering Jews wherever you're listening to this pod, and follow Unpacked at all the social media places. Just look for @JewishUnpacked. And most of all, be in touch. Write to us at WonderingJews@JewishUnpacked.com. This episode was hosted by Michal Biton and Noam Weissman. This show is researched by Hona Dodge. Audio is edited by me, Rob Pera, and we're produced by Rivki Stern.
Heyo, it's Noam. I want to share an exciting new project from Unpacked, especially for the kids in your life, whether you're a parent, an aunt, an uncle, a cousin, I don't know, but someone in your life, a friend. Unpacked at Camp Kids Talk Israel is a new podcast for 8 to 11-year-olds, helping them explore Israel's history and culture through a podcast made just for them. How cool is that? There's a podcast about Israel made just for them, for kids. In Unpacked at Camp Kids Talk Israel, 3 kids document life at a Jewish summer camp while also learning important lessons about Israel, Judaism, and what it means to be Jewish. Find Unpacked at Camp Kids Talk Israel wherever you get your podcasts and share it with people who have kids and share it with kids. And not only that, they can also check out the YouTube channel called Unpacked Junior, where they can watch an amazing animated series about Israel. How cool is that? It exists. A YouTube channel about Israel for kids. So go spread the word to people who you know will appreciate it. Unpacked Junior on YouTube. So cool.